Hey y'all, I'm back with some more stuff this week. It looks like this is getting to be a weekly thing here. and I was out and about today and I found some more stuff, and then I have some other old stuff that I already had to show you, including that Japanese Mickey phone, which I will show lastly, and a little video at the end. So this could turn into another lengthy video, so if you have to watch it in two parts, that's okay. I think I'm being the last 4 or 5 videos have been, at least I've been trying to keep them under 20 minutes. Anyways, I got some records to show here, and this first one is I found another Julie London. I just love this lady's voice, and she's a very nice looking lady too. Back then, at the time, somebody bought this for 10 cents. Sometime along its history, somebody bought it for 10 cents, but I think I got it for $6 now at our local Love Garden. Love Garden Sounds. Putting in a promo for them guys, because I don't know. I know they might watch my videos. I'm not really sure. Anyway, next we have the Doors. I already have this, but this one is a mono copy, so I thought I would grab that up, even though it has a lot of ring wear on it. I guess it's kind of a rare to find a Doors mono press. And here, well, we'll save that for last. Here we have Bill Monroe's Greatest Hits. I thought I would start getting into some old country type stuff, because we have a lot of country records at our record store and at our antique mall. Bill Monroe's Greatest Hits, and this has In the Pines. If you remember, Kurt Cobain covered this on the MTV Unplugged special, and it's on that Nirvana record too, In the Pines. It's a very old song. It's been covered by a lot of people. This says Danny Boy. Just those two is all I can recognize at the moment. I haven't listened to it yet. And this one, I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it. It's just I have never seen one of their records. And I believe these fellers were an 80s band. And I remember seeing all the girls were crazy about them. They were sort of the Spanish monkeys or something like that. And that's Menudo. Con Amor. There you go. I don't know any of these songs. So if anybody's interested in this Menudo record, I'll probably let it go if somebody wants it, because I'm just not into Menudo. Well, this has the who's in this? Ricky Martin is in this, isn't it? Wasn't this the band that Ricky Martin used to be in? Anyways, and next we have, this is one of my favorite Netflix series, Stranger Things. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend watching it. I know when I watched it, I watched the whole thing in like 2 nights. And the next one, the new ones don't come out until October, so I got a whiles to wait yet, all summer at least. And after I bought this, I noticed it's volume 2. So now I got to go find volume 1. This is a very good Netflix series. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend you watching this. If you like 80s horror movies, like Phantasm, you know the music that's in those? The same type of music is in this record, and it kind of follows that 80s sort of vibe with the music you hear on the radio or in the background or something like that. But that's a good movie, and I guess this company is known for their soundtracks, because there's a bunch of soundtracks there. Here's a nice little photo. That's Winona Ryder. She hasn't been anything in a while, and she does a very good job in this television series. And next we move on to the books. Now, I found this today for $8, and I had to grab it. It's Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Now, this is one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies. Now, it's a musical. Yes, I like musicals. And this is kind of a mixture of a musical combined with horror type stuff. And I just like the whole setting of it and everything. It's a real great movie. Now, this is a graphic photo from inside, so don't get scared. And you can see he's giving that guy a very close shave. Right there. It's got some cool pictures and things like that. And there's the late... I forget his name. Dang it, he just passed away here recently. Pictures. Maybe it says right here, if I can find it real quick, who the... Oh, I won't look for it right now. You guys will figure it out. But that's that. Now, here's one. I like Charles Bukowski books. I started reading Charles Bukowski before I even got around to Jack Kerouac. Now this is a book called Women. And this is kind of like Tom Waits. Charles Bukowski's either you love him or you hate him type of thing. Because in a lot of his books he's kind of offensive towards... women. He's basically a dirty old man, kind of like me, I guess. But I like his writing because it just seems real world to me. And this edition, this is a paperback from whoever, I don't know if it's from 1979, but somebody wrote August 10th, 1979 up there in the corner. And it says 1979 right there at the bottom. And I had a spot saved and I just lost it. I'm going to read a part here. This is what takes so long in my videos because I like to talk. Anyway, I'm not sure when I first saw Lydia Vance. It was about 6 years ago. I had just quit a 12-year job as a postal clerk and was trying to be a writer. I was terrified and drank more than ever. I was attempting my first novel. I drank a pint of whiskey and 2 6-packs of beer each night while writing. I smoked cheap cigars, and I typed and drank and listened to classical music on the radio until dawn. I set a goal of 10 pages a night, but I never knew until the next day how many pages I had written. I'd get up in the morning, vomit, then walk to the front room and look on the couch to see how many pages were there. I always exceeded my 10. Sometimes there were 17, 18, 23, 25 pages. Of course, the work of each night had to be cleaned up and thrown away. It took me 21 nights to write my first novel. And that's some of the more non-offensive stuff. But apparently he didn't really start his writing career until after he quit that post office job when he was about 50. And he started sowing his wild oats or something at 50 with all the women. And he probably, pretty much through all of his books, he's boozing all the way through, except for when you read some of his poetry books. Most of a lot of the poetry is surrounding his cats. He has cats. Anyway, but that, check out some Charles Bukowski if you already haven't. I know if you're one of the hip students around here, you're probably going to go pick up some Bukowski and get you a 6-pack of Milwaukee's Best, which is like rot gut beer. It's like, you don't want to drink that. And the last book I have to show is, I really like collecting, or have a thing for cheesy black velvet paintings. I have about 10 of them, from small all the way up to great big ones, which I don't have any here in my living room area. But if you want, I can post some of those pictures at the end of one of my videos or something if you like black velvet paintings. I have all kinds of them, Elvis, a lot of nudes, things like that. But this is the Black Velvet Masterpieces book, highlights from the collection of the Velveteria Museum. And they have a website too where you can go look at all their paintings, and there's YouTube tours of their museum, if it's still there. I haven't even checked recently to see if it's still around. But black velvet paintings, and there are some very interesting ones. I've seen some dog ones around. I'm not really into the dogs and pets. There's some nudes. Let's throw that real quick. But if you can find some of the Hawaiian type nudes, they are worth a lot of money if you find the right artist and things like that. Here's one that's not quite so, yeah. Nudes from around the world. Here we have celebrities. I do like these celebrity type velvet paintings. I had a John Wayne that I found in a antique mall about 60 miles from here towards Kansas City, and I don't know why I just grabbed it, because I'm not really big into John Wayne, but for some reason I thought of my best friend in Topeka, Mike. He used to be a really big John Wayne fan. I thought, well, if I ever run into Mike again, I'll give him this painting. And here we just recently got back together, recently visiting, and I gave him the John Wayne painting. I must have had a premonition maybe or something. But yeah. And naturally there's Michael Jackson. I think the most popular ones are Elvis, which I have a couple of those. Velvet Elvises are very cool. And I guess that's about all I'm going to show. Oh, Jesus is very popular on velvet. You'll see those all over the place. Anyway, that's the Black Velvet Masterpieces. And if you get a chance, look up the Velveteria Museum while you're watching YouTube videos, and there some of their videos will come up, and you can take a tour of their little museum on video. And I probably have the only velvet type museum in this area in my place here, because we just don't see the velvet paintings around here very often. But I'm lucky I have the ones that I do, and I do have one example. Here is Marilyn Monroe. I'm a big Marilyn Monroe fan. I don't have a lot of her stuff around, but I seen this painting and I went ahead and picked it up. Most of them are made in Mexico. Now, if you can find some of the ones from the 70s are probably the most wanted. This one, I'm not too sure of its year because I have not looked up anything on it, but it is made in Mexico. It has the stamp like right there. And they used to churn these out, I guess, and you'd find them along the roadsides, and sometimes these used to be like in quick shops and things like that, but now you just don't see them. And here's Marilyn Monroe. Just thought I'd break that out for an example. And lastly, we have the, I promised you I would show you the Japanese Mickey phone. This is the Japanese post occupation Mickey phone, mid to late 40s. It's a square one. Try to open this without stuff falling out like I did on the last. But there's the stuff that's inside. This folds out into the turntable like. See if I can get this out of here. Now this one I had to replace. See these little foam thingies right here? The rubber was all deteriorated, so I replaced it with some felt type stuff. And get this out of here. And there's some rubber inside the reproducey here. It's all hardened up now and it's falling apart. So hopefully I can get this to play in a minute. So I need to replace that rubber inside of there. I imagine I can just go find some rubber tubing somewhere and put it in there. But over time that rubber turns really hard and it deteriorates and falls apart. The same thing happens with typewriters. I also have typewriters. Anyway, but that's that. It says right there's. Oh, do I got it upside down? Mickey phone. And like I said in my last video, they are reproducing these in India, and you can get them for about $200. The reproduction, but I don't even know if they're good quality or not. I'm not going to put them down or anything until I actually see one in a video or something like that. And lastly, see that gal back there, I just found her. She is a wooden stand-up from the Sam Boyd's California Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. And that place was opened in the mid-70s. And I kind of looked some of it up. It has a Hawaiian theme or something. But this little stand-up gal, she's not wearing Hawaiian stuff, so I don't know why. It has that thing there's a casino chip that's glued or something onto her right there. So I don't know if this could be from the mid-70s version of Sam Boyd's before they got the Hawaiian theme, or see the art, the way it looks more 60s than it does 70s, so maybe they just picked that up somewhere else. I'm not sure. Or who knows? But that's what that casino chip says on it. It says change girl. I don't know where I'm going to put her. I just kind of stuck her over there to look at us. I could put it there every video. It's up to you all. Or something if you want to see the change girl. And next up I'll have I'll try to get the Mickey phone working. Colin, over and out, and weirdos unite.